This is Life in the 1900s newspapers, and today we will be doing a brand new newspaper. We are in the 1930s, and life was tough in the 1930s. It was the Great Depression. People looked for a way to forget their troubles, and they got it from listening to comedians on the radio and at the movies. Along with today's newspaper articles, we will be learning about the more famous comedians of the 1930s. Today's issue is the Boston Post from Friday, June 5th, 1936. One way to settle it, Rockford, Illinois, June 4th. Called to settle a dispute between two brothers over ownership of a raspberry pie, detectives Richard Whale and Roy Johnson settled the controversy with little trouble today. The detectives cut the pie in half and ate it while the two quarreling youths looked on. With the cause of the dispute removed, the officer said, the brothers readily ended their fight.
Like Will caused radio sales to boom during the Great Depression. You could light up your living room with laughter for just a few pennies worth of electricity. The husband and wife team of Jim and Marion Jordan became our favorite radio neighbors. As Fibber, McGee, and Molly, they welcomed us each Tuesday night into their home at 79 Wistful Vista.
What do we do now?
Don't worry. I'll drag this thing right through the Supreme Court. That's what I'll drag this thing right through the soup. I'll try every door in this building till I find somebody that'll... Hey, what's it say on that door?
Women.
Oh.
Death in wake of curse car, Jersey City, New Jersey. Eddie Grant, restaurant owner, bought an almost new car 3 weeks ago. It's a curse car, Eddie said, chuckling to lawyers and policemen who patronize his place. I bought it from the estate of a friend who died 3 weeks after he bought it, and he bought it from a estate of a friend who died 3 weeks after he bought it. A week ago, Eddie boasted about his good health. I'm not afraid of curses, he said. I've had that car 2 weeks. Today, Eddie Grant, 49, died in the Jersey City Medical Center of pneumonia. He was taken ill Monday.
We'll hold the distinction of being the only nation in the history of the world that ever went to the poorhouse in an automobile. Thank you, boys. Where'll you be when I need you?
Right here.
Okay.
I told you not to make that last payment.
Take Own Medicine, New York. Some red-faced parking violators paid $1 fines in Manhattan traffic court today without a murmur of protest. They were, of all persons, policemen in uniform and out, who had cluttered up the streets outside police headquarters in the center street with their private cars. They didn't bother to register their names.
Come on, Bossy. Nice, Bossy.
One-handed, huh? You could do twice as much milking if you use two hands.
Yeah, but I haven't got twice as much milk as you do.
Why don't you take off the lid? Nah, the lid on the bucket. Yeah.
Hey, somebody hollow that cow's tail.
I'll take care of it, Mr. Kennedy. Penny, that locked in there.
Look what you're doing.
What a hat! The Filene originated, Filene improved, knockabout felt that women have always bought in 2s and 3s, reordered, wrote for the phone for, sent their friends for, and asked weeks in advance for the newest edition. Filene's 1936 Globetrotter, only $1.95. Women sure liked to accessorate their fashion with hats in the 1930s. Take a look at the street scene in the 30s in New York City. Of course, I had to find one where a guy was selling newspapers.
Just like a rose you faded, your life is what I made it. I was all to blame, forgive me. I'm sorry, dear. I took your heart and ruled you. I stole your love and fooled you. Now I am ashamed, believe me. I'm sorry, dear. I know I don't deserve one word of sympathy. Sweetheart, please let me show how much you mean to me, dear. I want to bring you glad days, make up for all your sad days. Give me one more chance, I beg you. I'm sorry, dear.
Souvenir mob loots Queen Mary. Anything removable is taken for keepsake. New York. The hull of the liner Queen Mary is still safely moored to her pier, despite the fact that between 30,000 and 40,000 souvenir-crazed New Yorkers so far have given the ship the once-over. Her turbines, too, remain clamped down in her engine rooms, and her funnels, all three of them, still tower over the sun decks. But much of the rest of her, with the exception of the murals, the larger rugs, and the heavier pieces of furniture, disappeared in the pockets, sleeves, and hats of local keepsake collectors. It has been dreadful, positively dreadful, sighed E. Jones, the chief steward. I have never seen anything like it. They took spoons, forks, knives, salt and pepper shakers, and even the table numbers off the dining room tables. Much has been taken that could not have been loosened without screwdrivers and monkey wrenches. They took brass nameplates, flower vases, whole potted plants, and flowers, onyx ornaments, clocks, silver calendars, and, of course, innumerable ashtrays, glasses, and piece of china. The liner sails tomorrow. Hey, you're in luck. We can take a 1937 trip back on the Queen Mary. So grab yourself a deck chair.
found. Why don't they stop someday and dress themselves this way? Why are we here? Where are we going? It's time that we found out. We're not here to stay. We're on a short holiday. Life is just a bowl of cherries. Don't be so serious. Life's too mysterious. You work, you save, you worry so, but you can't take your dough when you go, go, go. So keep repeating it's the berries. The strongest hope must fall. The sweet things in life to you were just loan. So how can you lose what you've never owned? Life is just a bowl of cherries. So live and laugh at it all.
Was known as taking an ordinary line and make it sound suggestive. Here's a few clips of her best.
Why, you just tell me about my future. You see, I know all about my past.
Ah, you have a wonderful future. I see a man in your life.
What, only one? Oh, Mr. Clayton, I've been thinking over everything you said, and I made my decision.
Good. I'm glad you made up your mind so quickly.
Oh, very quick in a slow way. You see, I can't discuss it over the phone. It's got a lot of angles to it. You better come up and see me.
Well, I'll be glad to. In fact, I'll come over right away if it's convenient for you.
Most convenient. I'll tell you this much, you're gonna like what I got in mind. I'll be ready. Goodbye.
You're beautiful. I wonder what kind of a woman you really are.
Too bad, but I can't give out samples.
The former Miss Ernestine Bernardin of Los Angeles and Ensign Edward G. Grimm, under swords held in an arch by the ensign's fellow officers after their wedding aboard the USS Leary at the Washington Naval Yard. Thieves now steal telephone lines. La Canada, California. Thieves have found a new field of operations in Los Angeles County. This is stealing telephone lines. The County Foresters Department reports many lines have been cut down and carried away entirely, except for the poles. During the Depression, people would try anything to make money, even daredeviling. Girl airplane jumper held, New York. Winnie Ruth Bayer, 15, the daredevil parachutist from Jamaica High School, leaped out of a plane 1,500 feet above Curtis Wright Airport at Valley Stream today and landed in the Children's Society shelter. Cops seized Winnie and her father, Edward, a former WPA worker, a second after the girl had alighted, missing the barbed top of a steel fence by 3 feet. After sending her to the shelter, District Attorney Martin L. Littleton jailed her father on a charge of endangering the life of a minor. Bear, he said, admitted he was out to commercialize his daughter's talent.
Get out in 10 minutes. Yes?
Did you want a manicure?
No, come on in. I hadn't planned on a manicure, but I think on a journey like this, you ought to have every convenience you can get.
I'm the engineer's assistant.
You know, I had a premonition you were going to show up. The engineer's right over there in the corner. You can chop your way right through.
Is my Aunt Minnie in here?
Well, you can come in and prowl around if you want to. If she isn't in here, you can probably find somebody just as good.
Well, could I use your phone?
Use the phone. I'll lay even money you can't get in the room.
I came to mop up.
Just the woman I'm looking for. Come right ahead. You'll have to start on the ceiling. It's the only place that isn't being occupied.
Stewart?
Ah, come right ahead. Been waiting all afternoon for you, Stewart.
Come on.
Now for a little gossip of the town. And a little child shall stop traffic. There's the President of the United States, the Governor of the Commonwealth, and then there's a mere slip of a little girl. Any one of these three can bring traffic on Boylston and Exeter streets to a dead stop. But of the three, the little girl with the 2 chestnut pigtails running down her back, tied at the end with ribbons, is the champion. She comes out of her home on Dartmouth Street and hopscotches all the way to Prince School on Newbury Street. To have her hop, skip, and jump, interrupted by a lot of ill-assorted motor traffic at the Exeter Street corner, would of course mar the progress of her lope. Nobody recognizes the importance of not ruining her game so much as the traffic officer Albert E. Ellis. The instant he sees the little marathoner hopping in his direction, he prepares the way. Mighty caravans of commerce, passenger machine of the rich and the proud, are whistled to attention and to a halt. For a moment, at the behest of the law, all traffic at the intersection ceases, and the little queen of the hopscotch skips royally along. Did you know, in the 30s, Shirley Temple had her own police force? Well, it was actually a club she established, and she picked the policeman to be in her club. Let's read one of the newspaper comics. This is Pete the Tramp. I haven't seen Pete, that pal of yours, around lately. Oh, him? He's in the chips. Yeah, he landed a big advertising job. He did? Don't miss Mumbo's Elephant Act, Lyceum, all week.
Hi.
Have you any ailments?
I can't sleep at night.
Who do you sleep with?
My brother.
Your brother, eh? Now, how does he sleep?
Sleeps like this. You know?
Stop that. What's the matter with you?
That's why I can't sleep.
You drink anything?
Anything. I get awful headaches. In fact, I suffer with headaches all the time.
Oh.
I've got one now.
You have, eh?
Yes.
Well, why don't you do what I do when I have a headache?
What do you do, Doctor?
If I have a headache, I go home. My wife meets me at the door.
Mm-hmm.
She takes me into the parlor.
Yes?
I sit on her lap.
Oh.
She puts her arms around me.
Oh.
We cuddle up.
Yes?
She kisses me. The headache disappears.
What time will your wife be home?
Oh, Snooks, what is it?
Blow this balloon up.
Oh, all right.
Bigger.
There you are.
Bigger.
Yeah, that's as big as it'll go.
No, bigger.
Oh, all right. Here, my little woolly britches. Don't you know to swallow a thing like that would kill you? I'll get it. Here she is.
Women, 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 women. The other day I saw a fellow in a padded cell. He looked just as sane as he could be. When I asked him how he got there, he couldn't tell. So I thought that I'd solve the mystery. I spoke to him, and gee, how mild he seemed. Until I mentioned women, then he screamed. Women! Ah! Women! Ah! They're the only cause of my despair. Those women! Ah! Women! Oh, pardon me, I'll have to tear my hair. There. I never cut out paper dollies in bed. And my mother never let me fall on my head. 'Twasn't liquor, no. Money, no. But women, 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 women. Ah! Women, ah! Women, ah! They're the ones that put me on the bum. Those women, ah! Women, ah! They've got me so can't even grab my thumb. My brain was perfect when I came out of school. And I don't remember being kicked by a mule. 'Twasn't golfing, no. Nightclubs, no. But women, 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 ah! Now there were lots of other fellows in a padded cell, and I looked them over, every one. And though their names were common ones like Joe, Jack, and Jim, they all called themselves Napoleon. At 10 o'clock at night, when all was well, they formed a ring and then began to yell. Women! Ah! Women! Ah! From those dizzy creatures I must hide. Women! Ah! Women! Oh, look at me, I hope they're satisfied. There was a time when I was happy and free, but now I'm like a cuckoo up in a tree. It wasn't Charleston, no. Income tax, no. But women, 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 ah! Women, oh, women, oh, gee, oh gosh, oh golly, what's the use? Those women, ah, women, I can't help it if my screws are loose. I never fell off any fast-moving train. I guess that I was born with all of my brains. Wasn't jazz bands? No. Mammy songs? No. But women, 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 women.